Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto livestream. I hope everything is working properly. I see the chat box is not doing the most, but I think we're good now. To just without any further ado, just get into the update, I guess, for right now. A lot of people have been coming at me saying the death cross that we are referring to is a piece of garbage, or it's something that only I talk about. That's one thing I've seen often. And the second part, obviously, is our quote-unquote re-entering of the triangle. These two things are key. Got a lot of criticism for it yesterday, and I want to kind of back that theory up. We got a lot of articles at the top here you guys cannot see. I also have another video which is going to be really freaking interesting later today, as the SEC has done a couple of really odd things, but we'll talk about that in a different one. Let's right now just quickly discuss what is most urgent for right freaking now, as I believe it's really important to prepare. So, first of all, death cross, you can see it right here. We got the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. I need to actually quickly put my, what is it called? The blinder over a window, because I can't see anything. Give me 5 seconds. Alright, bada boom, bada bing, baby. Alright, we got it fixed. Alright, so we got, yes, there we go. We got the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA right over here in this chart. You might think, Dusty, why is it so crowded? Because I like it that way, because this is the setup that we use for every single live stream stress trade that we do. Now, the crossover, the death cross, little definition is when literally this 50 or yellow line goes below the red one. It's happened a couple of times, and let's quickly analyze that for ourselves to get a good grasp of what exactly would happen. So this is a golden cross where the short-term prices, aka the 50 EMA, cross over the longer term or 200 EMA. It basically shows that the short-term average prices are higher than the longer term, and it basically means that there's an uptrend, so to speak. There's two things that you should know. One is that not every golden or death cross is actually significant, just quite yet. And in the end of things, you can't even say that a golden cross is any bearing in the real world, actually. It's just something that a lot of people use because it might have some relevance. Then again, it should be backed by a certain specific move. In this case here, you can see there's a couple of crosses, yet can you really say something about them? That's definitely debatable. And again, there's a lot of fakes out there, but statistically proven, some people say, right, is that once a cross like this happens, there's a higher chance of the price moving in that direction on forward. And two key examples that people use are the 2017 and 2013 bull run when they happened. And for example, right here, again, yellow being the, let's actually take all of this off. Yellow being the short-term prices, red being the longer-term prices, and short-term meaning the 50, red being the 200. What you can see here is that we crossed over, meaning that longer-term prices are doing better. Now, what happened from this point on forward? It depends on how you see it, right? I mean, from this point on forward, we had gone down. Let's just quickly measure this. From all-time high to the death cross, we went down about 67% or so. And from this point on forward, you might say, Dusty, but we came right back up. You can clearly see it. Are you dumb in the head? We went up 57%. We did. However, before actually taking out our previous high, how low did we go? Well, I mean, you can definitely say that we did go quite significantly lower. We went another 52% or so down. Some of the guys actually narrowed it down, saying that it's basically the impulse from highest point to death cross is again the impulse that you're going to witness afterwards as well. On average, there's another 2013 example, but you guys get the drift. Make sure you understand that if a death cross occurs, it's not by definition going to move down lower, and nobody will ever tell you that. If they do, they're lying to you. And the same thing for a golden cross. In this specific case here, look, from the bottom to the golden cross here, we went up about, let's say, between 62 and 80%. Let's say about 65%. From that point forward, we went up another huge amount of percentages over time for Bitcoin. However, again, there's multiple of them, right? It's not that it goes up every single time, but it's more likely. Once more, guys, when the yellow goes above the red, it is a golden cross. When the red goes above the yellow, it's a death cross. Not always, but very often it does work out. You can clearly just see it happening here. Every time it crosses, you're like, oh yeah, if I were to, for example, buy right there or sell right there, it would have worked out. Not always, but very often. Specifically, it gets important once we're talking about big moves like this, where there's huge divergences and then coming to a cross. At those points, it's a lot more important. A lot of you guys are saying, I don't care about Bitcoin. If you literally or seriously don't care about Bitcoin, I don't think we're on the same page right here. Because even though I prefer XRP, and I might even now have more in XRP than I have in Bitcoin, I really might believe so. I think it's really important that you that you really update yourself with Bitcoin, man. I really do believe so. Now, you guys are wondering, why is it urgent? There's two specific parts. One, the triangle that we were talking about, where the breakout to the downside, it actually is coming back in, meaning we got another fake out the way it's currently looking. But that literally means that we have either everybody was wrong, every single person on YouTube was wrong, and we're going to go towards the side, or basically we had we had no breakout to either side, we're just going sideways, which I don't really see many people on YouTube say. And the other one is that it's going to take about, what is it going to be, guys? Maybe like, depending on what the price is going to do, maybe like 3-4 days, maybe shorter, before we're going to see this death cross if no surge to the upside happens. And you guys must be aware that I have told you before, there is so ridiculously many people that are watching this happen. Make sure you understand that that since we're all watching this, well, you might get a certain move in a certain direction, which is downside, if it actually does occur. So I just want you guys quickly to understand and notice that. Now, a lot of news, a lot of stuff to talk about. Here's Dark Defender, who actually talked about XRP a little bit specifically, and there's actually quite a lot of people who are ridiculously positive on XRP, specifically the price, where I'm not necessarily going to say that. Let me quickly see where it was open. This I want to talk about here. XRP Crypto Wolf also said XRP's chart is the best looking one out of all the others in crypto. Debatable. Once more, guys, even though I'm seriously a good fan of XRP, you guys must know it by now, ridiculously big fan of it, I'm not sure. This candle just turned from red to green. It happened just now. Then again, I can't really say that it's the best looking chart out there as of this point. I don't really think you can convince me that this is looking the most promising, the most beautiful. Then again, if we're looking at lows being created, it's not that severe. That's true, though. So from the XRP pair, or just looking at XRP versus the dollar, it's not looking that bad, but is it really the most beautiful? That's definitely up for some debate. Dark Defender said, "Hi there all. I've got my coffee and wanted to update you on XRP. We are on the verge of a decision till tomorrow. No room left in the daily chart to move, so a breakout is expected. It's decision time. Resistances are at 98 cents and $1.10, and 72.80 and 65.10 are the supports, as you can see." All right, and by the way, somebody asked, what is a death cross? What do they mean? What is it all? It is, as it just said, in the easiest terms, a crossover like that would be when either the short-term prices, on average, overtake the longer term, or vice versa. And in picture, it is just this line going below this line, which would in this case be the death cross. That's just what people call it. All right, so here, one article here. U.S. financial giant tread carefully into crypto trend. There's a little bit of a trend going on, specifically because I read and watch the news every single day. You guys most likely know by now that there's quite a lot of, there's quite a lot of institutions getting into crypto. One of the fun things is JP Morgan. We talked about that maybe 3-4 times over the last week because they've let go of a couple of different statements which are really troubling or really confusing in the crypto market. One of the things which they do really shortly here was say that you should stay away from crypto and that it's going to go down, and that a certain sign has shown that a bear market was about to come. I'm not exactly sure how wrong or right they are, but one of the things which they're saying right here as well is that Jamie Dimon, the CEO's personal opinion is that you should stay away from it. However, a lot of the clients, which are most likely extremely wealthy, a lot of them are, they do want to get into it. And that again leaves us in a really important dilemma. To a certain degree, there's a huge amount of institutions getting into it. And I've told you guys before, if Michael Saylor and Elon Musk have not sold all their crypto, as an example, I'm not selling mine. I'm not selling my crypto. If Brad Garlinghouse, for example, again, and if David Schwartz have not said, no, I'm completely out of crypto, specifically David Schwartz, I'm still in it. I'm not going to go get out. I'm still going to stay exactly where we are, and I'm not going to be selling my crypto. But I have seen so ridiculously much panic. Maybe it would be good if we actually get a fear index going on here as well for Bitcoin. The amount of fear in the crypto space right now is so staggering. I'm not sure exactly why it doesn't show up. Oh, here we go. It's 23 right now, which is actually relatively high in comparison to what I would have expected for it, but it's so ridiculous, guys. Make sure you keep your head in the game. Am I selling my crypto? No. Where will I be buying back my XRP? I've told you guys before, if we actually hit like 65 or so cents for XRP, I will be looking to buy some more. For right now, I am not buying this dip. Why? I have so much of my money locked up in crypto, and I've told you guys before as well, I think you should always find a good ratio for yourself where you have enough money in crypto, but enough safety money too to make sure you can buy dips so you're not stressed out all the time. For Bitcoin, where would I buy in? Well, I'm not going to buy Bitcoin anytime soon. Even though the majority of people have confirmed that Bitcoin is leading this run and Bitcoin is making the better moves, I am not buying Bitcoin for right now. I am really focused on XRP as of this point because I do believe if they fix this lawsuit, which again, I think we can all kind of agree on that, the lawsuit part is looking pretty damn good. Well, then, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a good one. At least I hope so. What are you guys expecting for it? Let's actually quickly ask in the chat box where you guys are watching from. Like what country? Let me know in the chat box, man. So yeah, decision time is right freaking now for Bitcoin, for Ether, for almost any pair. Right now, the next day here, the next 24 hours will be key. And I've told you guys before that I believe that the bull market relies on all of this. A lot of people would, say that's not true. I firmly believe so. Right now, this is an interesting move. I told you guys as well yesterday that if we get a confirmation towards the downside, aka a red candle happening afterwards, I would have definitely been kind of sure that it would be a bearish run, or at least a bearish moment. Then again, we have talked before about the plan B or stock to flow model as well, and that one suggests that end of the year, for example, like $300,000 per Bitcoin or some crazy prices for that are still possible. I would still say that yes, I do still believe 100% certain that any crypto price which you're witnessing right now is still low in comparison to what we're going to see. But make sure you understand that so many people are watching this triangle and that cross. Make sure you understand, and it's happening right now. The decision time is literally today/tomorrow. Right now. So stay watching, right? Not the video necessarily, but stay watching the price. Keep a close eye on it. Ethereum might be in for a rough few months by Ethereum Analyst. I've told you guys as well before that Ethereum is one of the coins which I think is a fine one to hold for a very long time. Then again, even some of the co-founders of Ethereum have now said that it's not their best bet, and they're going for freaking Cardano and Polkadot. Ethereum co-founder Anthony DeLorio bets big on the future of Cardano and Polkadot. Isn't that some irony? You guys actually remember when Xrp was in the number 2 position? It was a little while ago, but I still remember quite fondly. And one of the things which they really used to tell me all the time was that, no, Ethereum is for the this, for the that, and Xrp is actually for nothing. It's just a banker's coin that's centralized piece of garbage. You know what the funnest part is, the most fun part of it all? In a little bit of time here, nobody can tell anymore that it's a centralized piece of garbage, or it's for the banks being a bad thing. They can't. It's only now that there's some uncertainty, only now that in due time here, and I believe that's going to be happening really freaking short. At least we're hoping so, right? The shorter the better. We're going to see some sort of decision, and it's hopefully going to really affect us in a positive way. I'm hoping for it. With Ethereum, there's so many small little issues left and right, and there's so much criticism about it too. But a lot of the Bitcoin/Ethereum maxis don't want to see that. They're just criticizing XRP, where almost any one of these cryptos at the top has flaws, and it's something you should understand. Then again, I still hold the majority of them because I do believe that it's smart to have a well-diversified bag, but I personally think XRP is my best performing short-term crypto. Okay, and then another little question I guess I should have for you guys is which coin is like your short-term best bet? Which one do you think like, oh, that one is going to really get me going crazy in the short term? Which crypto would it be? Let me know in the chat box real quick. I'm just watching. Ethereum's $1.5 billion options expiry on June 25th will be a make or break moment. That is still to be determined. We don't have to talk about that right now. Cardano is a weird cult, says billionaire Mike Novogratz. Well, yeah, I mean, that's something which a lot of these guys have been saying, man. It's they're calling Cardano a cult right now. I think that's also pretty funny, huh? What do you guys think about that? I don't think at all that it's a cult. They always say that about Xrp too, by the way. Isn't that pretty funny? Why? They're so criticizing of the crypto space. It's all a matter of time, though. Let's quickly see what else we had. This, by the way, this type of stuff from Xrp Extended Productions. You know how often people come up to me and say, Dusty, is this real, yes or no? Come on. You cannot really think this stuff is real, right? But a lot of people do. A lot of people do. And Fabian also says, if I only get $1 for every fool who's going to believe this, there's a lot of them who believe it, guys. There's a ridiculously amount of people. There's a ton of them. Xrp Crypto Wolf again said Xrp is the best looking one out of all the cryptos right now. I would say no, as I just said. But a lot of people are really, really negative about it. You can see here, the sentiment has changed significantly. Please stop. XP is in a bad place right now. Please tell me it's not going to 10 cents. I'm shorting it. If you look through, a lot of people are negative right now. Ton of people are. I'm just warning you. I'm just warning you. I'm just warning you. All right? Please, guys, I'm not saying I'm selling my coins. I still keep them. I'm just saying a lot of people have turned negative. Keep that in the back of your head when making decisions. I am thinking of buying the dip once we go a little bit lower to just add to my bag because I'm a longer-term holder. Out of money once again from, this is an interesting one. Out of money again, or once again, from buying the dip at $1 XRP. Who wants feet, juicy booty, and some stuff for some XRP? I'll even accept other crypto as a payment. It's pretty funny to me if you start thinking about it. And then there's the DAI, who once more actually talked about this entire SEC Ethereum ordeal. And I'm starting to get kind of fed up with all of that. I actually have a full-on, I think, let me actually pull it up here if I can. I have another important video here that I haven't made just quite yet, but I have the articles for it, which is basically about the SEC kind of showing their true side. I mean, one of the articles is SEC leaves cryptocurrency out of its agenda. Another one is Block One, or basically the foundation behind EOS, settling their ICO class action with the, or I guess their annoyance with the SEC, but basically it's their class action for being an ICO. And there's just a lot of articles right now surrounding the warnings or what the SEC has been doing, and the conclusion, to not leave you guys in the dark for too long, is that it's starting to get really vague what exactly their stance is, if they want to regulate everything properly, if they want to regulate nothing, if they're just going after Ripple and then sending a rule book, or if they're not planning to set a rule book at all. I mean, we got Bitcoin's status in a couple of countries. We got some other cryptos, I guess, official status in a couple of countries. But what exactly is the SEC wanting to do? There's so much of a discrepancy, and here's another video talking about Ethereum and the way that one has been dealt with, basically, which is, in the easiest words, just unfair. And a lot of people have pointed that out, yet the SEC is not willing to see it. Why? Don't ask me, guys. I have no freaking clue. But let's quickly watch this little video from 50 seconds long to get another little bit of a grasp of what exactly is happening right now. Let me quickly put that hard. And...
But there are other altcoins out there. There is Ether, for example. There is Ripple. Is Ether a security?
So, Bob, I'm not going to comment on specific crypto assets and whether they are a security or are not a security. But you captured the definition very well. Now, am I giving you my money for you to go off in a venture, or I'm relying on your efforts and the efforts of your colleagues?
In order to fund the project, we conducted a sale. We sold the token Ether for Bitcoin, and all the receipts, 9,000 different receipts, were actually stored in a decentralized way on the Bitcoin blockchain.
This is why I've earlier this year said I think that most of them are. I think Ether, when it was done in 2014, would pass this test. When I say pass, it means it's a security.
But there are other altcoins.
So, from that perspective, it's pretty damn scary if you start to think about it like that, huh? But that is all for, I guess, a different video. You guys are wondering why it's urgent. 2 reasons. I'll come back to the start because a lot of you guys are not seeing that for some reason. There's 2 main things, right? No, 3 actually, in even an easier fashion. I'll show you guys articles to kind of back it up. First of all, if you're wondering why is Bitcoin going up, if you don't know, well then, again, that's what you're here for. Logical. We broke out to the downside once right here. Why? People are afraid there was tons of speculation of really heavy and negative regulatory parts coming up. It was kind of a fake thing, right? We noticed, okay, it's actually not that big a deal. It's actually not that heavy. And then the El Salvador news basically caught it back up. Even though the El Salvador news also happened throughout this time, this is where people start to get it in. Why did the price continue within the triangle? Because people don't know where to go. You and I right now, nobody really knows exactly if we should go up or down. Right here, we got to break to the downside, mostly again based upon FUD and because of, well, if we go to the downside and we cross a little bit, people react on react on react, waiting for this death cross and waiting once more for the 21 weekly EMA. That together, of course, with all this regulatory uncertainty, pushed the price down. Yet, is it deserved? Is it really deserved? No. There's so much positive news happening. We just got the freaking El Salvador news as an example, and that one is really still looming around left, right, left, right. Here's another little part. Taproot is here. Miners lock in Bitcoin's biggest upgrade in years. You might call this a nice thing. A nice little upgrade because it's bullish for Bitcoin on its own. I mean, an upgrade like that is always nice to see. So that one might have helped with it a little bit as well. We checked the majority of the news out there, and it's really hard to say exactly what part of it actually was the literal decision maker. I would just say that people understood again that, well, even though the narrative is bearish, there's a couple signals which turn bearish, there isn't really that much reason for a bear run right now, as the majority of the people in crypto right now are bullish, but are just scared. And scared, why are they scared? Well, because of regulatory uncertainty, because of others that have put up this idea inside their heads. It's really, really a big problem right now. And I've told you just now, today, the next 24 hours will be the key to it all, the most important. So you have to watch the crypto prices if you're a trader, if you're a holder, it doesn't really matter whatever you are. Watch it right now really carefully because this candle on its own, if this one were to be red, and I told you this, then I would really just straight up say, okay, there's a good chance we've entered ourselves into a bear market. If this one's red, the death cross would just come around the corner. The 21 weekly EMA, of course, would still be confirmed. And we broke out to the downside with confirmation. Why didn't we call that here? Because I firmly believe the candle here was not strong enough. And even if we did buy into it, or I guess I should say short into it, we could have gotten ourselves a nice little amount of profit. We could have taken the trade, would have worked fine. However, you might still just say, okay, that's manipulation, or okay, this is just a fake out because there wasn't actually that much of an incentive to go down further. This, however, is a really proper fake out because, well, as I just said, we got our confirmation breaking out of the triangle, or we got ourselves breaking out of the triangle with confirmation. This is very often a trade setup, a good one. Right here would have had the exact same thing had it done what it should have done, but it didn't. Came right back in, and now we are waiting next 2 days or so for the death cross, but most importantly here, the triangle is coming to a close here. There's no more room to go. You can only keep adjusting your triangle to make new different patterns. You might say, oh, Dusty, but this is a lot more accurate. Then we are adjusting it. Okay, we can, but you guys get the picture, right? There's no more time. There's no more time unless we're going to follow along with this little pattern from now on. We're going to call this valid, but I would say that's not really the case. Again, there will be new analysts coming up with new ideas every single day, though. You guys know how exactly it goes. Pretty soon, people will be talking about a completely new pattern that's forming. For right now, though, make sure you understand that this is decision time for Bitcoin right freaking now. And, you do you. Mappa503 Pena says, I can't wait till the Xrp lawsuit is over. I mean, I mean, can you really not wait? I would say that I'm more happy that we are able to pick up these coins right now as we speak than having the lawsuit over. It might sound strange to you, but I'm actually pretty happy that we're able to pick up some cheap coins like right now. Someone says it should look like this. That's what somebody in the chat box just said. Xrp price prediction after settlement, that type of stuff is so ridiculously difficult. But I personally hope that we're going to see a nice little swing towards the downside, hopefully on the Xrp pair to about 65 cents, because I got a fat order there to pick it up. I would be so happy if we could get that done, because I still firmly believe that we're going to be winning this lawsuit. And if we do, you guys already know, right? I personally said I think some crazy price movements can happen. Then again, the SEC and the whole Ripple SEC ordeal is such a, may I say it, just such a shit show. It feels so surreal. And MSM coming in with the $2 as well. Thank you, man. It feels so surreal to witness all of this, man. It feels so odd. Just because you're thinking with everything that we've been doing that they should just win and get it over already. And that, again, is what my next video here is going to be about. It is mostly going to be about how a settlement is actually pretty damn likely. Even though you might think, oh, but Dusty, they would never come in, Ripple basically, and admit that they were wrong about things. Well, you wait, all right? We're going to talk about that a little bit later because there's definitely some interesting stuff to be said about that. There's a good chance they could come to a settlement pretty shortly here because the judge has had so long now to come up with a decision and she hasn't put up anything. Makes you wonder, right? But I'm personally thinking, guys, let's just stick with it for right now. Let's bite through all the quote-unquote corruption that people are referring to here all the time. We can't say exactly when it will end. We don't even know if it will be extended or not. That type of stuff is awful and annoying, but I still firmly believe as of this point that what we're witnessing is just a correction. It is only that I'll change my mind if we get some confirmation for downside on Bitcoin, but that's not the case. Or maybe if we get this death cross going, I might change my mind a little bit as well. For right now, though, all of this is just a correction. I'm still happy to pick up my coins. I'm still not selling my crypto, and I'm still believing to the bitter end. If you think not, if you think it's a bear market, that's completely fine, but we're just not on the same page then. I will not say it's a bear market yet until we can confirm that it is. Because, I don't know, what do you consider to be a bear market? What if maybe this was the bear market? You know, maybe this last couple of weeks, oh yeah, we just got a couple of weeks of downside and that was the bear market. Boom, over. Or what? It's so hard to say exactly because this crypto stuff is so ridiculously new. It might be that because there's right now so many more people in the crypto space than there were in 2017 that these corrections don't actually last years anymore, but last a couple of months. For example, what if this correction that we're witnessing right now, going down 60%, lasts, let's say 2 months, for example, which could end right here on June 17th as an example, right? I mean, if you look at the S&P and stuff like that, you might see long corrections, but very often, like, for example, the whole CV period, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? The whole March 2020. We got a small, so to speak, correction, but a really severe one. What if that's the same thing for crypto? That we get a good correction for a little while, but I wouldn't necessarily consider it to be the bear market. Then again, maybe our definition of bear market now has turned wrong. But no, I do love lower prices. I do think Gary Gensler has to eventually make a choice if they want to go through with this crypto regulation or actually just focus on Ripple or focus on the green part of all this crypto stuff. It's really hard to say exactly what their focus is. I've definitely confirmed that they've lost their mind to a certain degree. But yeah, let's just stick with it for right now. Let's I opened the video from the SEC again. Let's stick with it for right now and let's just see how it flows, right? What else can we do, guys? Somebody asked Dusty, are you staking any coins right now? Yeah, almost any coin that I have on an exchange, I am always staking, or at least I'm trying to stake them. Because, well, if they're on the exchange anyway, it's kind of a waste to not let them stake, right? And also, a lot of you guys have said, Dusty, please stop with the urgent type of stuff. I will, all right? You guys said, try title better. I promise you guys, from right now, because I'm seeing it a lot in the comment section, I will try to title more accurately. But trust me when I say that it's pretty difficult to come up with good titles because you, of course, want to find the balance between where would somebody click, and what exactly we're going to talk about. In this specific sense here, I talked about the most urgent, in my opinion, price thing for right now. Like the next 24 hours will be key in determining this all, so I think it's quite important that you know about it now. But trust me when I say, if you made so many thousands of videos, it's not that simple to come up with good titles for what exactly is going on. It gets hard, all right? So please, just trust me. In the end, a lot of people say, oh, you want to blah, 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 blah. No, I will never put something in the title that the video is not about. I never do that quote-unquote clickbait in that sense. But you might call it a bit exaggerated. Okay, but I'm trying my best, guys. It's also your definition of urgent. But yeah. But I'll try to make it a little bit better. But okay, as an example, you guys watching, right? I have some stuff. Let me quickly see if I can just grab it here. This stuff. This is what, for example, I'm going to have to talk about a little bit later. All right, I have to prepare what exactly I want to say, my story straight a little bit. But SEC leaves crypto out of its agenda. Block 1, which is the company behind EOS, has settled now for their ICO. And these two things are just a little bit of a side note that I also want to talk about a little bit. But how, for example, would I title this now? Right? I've been thinking about that for like 20 minutes already. Because that's exactly the video I wanted to do right now. But I'm like, what do I do? Because the conclusion is, if you think that Ripple and the SEC can't come to a settlement, then you're wrong, I think. Because Well, EOS has just shown now, sometimes, even though you don't think you're in the wrong, and a lot of people have this when they go to jail or prison too, sometimes, even though you're not in the wrong, you take a deal. You take a sort of agreement, or in this case, settlement, just because you think that is worth it. And in this case here, Block 1, the company behind EOS, for a $4 billion ICO. They settled to pay $27.5 million last month, but this document just came out right freaking now. I think yesterday the court records were published. I think it's a pretty big deal, right? But how am I going to title it? Okay. Huh. But yeah, man. I'm just quickly seeing what you guys are saying. Berno. Why do you guys always talk about fighting, what's his name? Extra VOD. You guys, there's always at least 2 people in the chat box, or 1. 111 Kingston. He's always talking about fighting him. I'd beat the crap out of him. All right. Dusty, do a live stream with Crypto Hulk? I do not know who that is. Dusty, by any chance, is there a court call stetting anytime soon? Nah, man, that type of stuff not happening just quite. We don't have any hearing or anything date like that just coming up, right? If there is, I will tell you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If there's a certain date like that coming up, I'll tell you. The only thing we have, I guess, is that the SEC has been having these meetings. But even then, in one of the meetings that they just had, they concluded that there's really no priority. So SEC leaves crypto out of its agenda, at least not explicitly. Take a closer look, however, and there are several opportunities for regulators to get their feet wet. Conclusion being, well, it's not their main target. Think about it anyway. Gary Gensler's been in office for such a good while. Nothing freaking changed, man, to be honest with you. Weren't we all expecting Oh, SEC's in the chat, I see. Weren't we all expecting some heavy regulation or some heavy new progress to come? But no, man. I mean, I didn't see anything. I mean, I haven't seen Gary Gensler do anything at all. Even if we're just talking about regulating Ethereum or something, he didn't do anything. And that's interesting to me. But yeah, once more, I'm not exactly sure how that's going along. What I know, conclusion is, we got crypto regulations coming up, proper ones. El Salvador right now is just kind of starting it out, right, with the Bitcoin proper regulation. We right now got a critical, as you guys said, use critical over urgent, okay? Critical point for XRP, for Bitcoin, for any crypto right now. The next 24 hours could literally change everything. I already think that in a couple of hours from right now, let me actually put this to UTC. In a couple of hours from now, in 7 hours from now, everything could change. Why? Well, if you take a little bit of a look back on Bitcoin, if this candle is red, bada boom, bada bing, all right? I'm already not happy anymore. If this candle turns out to be red, and that would basically mean that Bitcoin goes from $37,000-ish that it is right now, all the way below 35.5 thousand. But it's not impossible. Even though there's many positive incentives for Bitcoin right now, you don't know how the people react. Even JP Morgan admitted there's a ton of institutional clients who are getting into it right now. And even earlier, a couple of days ago, we discovered and covered how retirement accounts are even opening up to all this crypto type of stuff. Crypto is not going anywhere. Yet, from a different perspective, there's really a good chance that they're going to try and manipulate it in some way, shape, or form. We even talk sometimes about the fact that I believe that banks should be against Bitcoin to a certain degree. They should. Because if you think about it, what was Bitcoin designed for? To be against the banks. And they should really openly thrive to have Xrp as a standard, or at least in some way, shape, or form. But, yeah, it's odd. It's really odd. Can you guys actually hear the drums? Because somebody says nice drums. I sometimes wonder if it's loud or not at all. Dust, do you have an Instagram account? I do have one DustTBC Instagram account. I actually have a ton of Instagram accounts. If you have been watching my channel for a little bit longer, you most likely know that's my kind of my job, sort of. That's what I do as a main thing. Maybe you know by now. Maybe you don't. But yeah, there's one though that's sending a lot of people follow requests. It's not me. maybe in the description down below or so there's a link for it. I'm not sure exactly where it is. I don't really use it though, but it's there. It exists at least. Do you have a Ledger or Trezor? I primarily use Ledger. That's just what I prefer. I don't know, man. That's me. And so a lot of people have asked me over the time if I believe in these specific XRP dates or stuff like that. No, I don't. In easiest terms, I don't have any specific date out there for you guys, except for the lawsuit specifically. Like, we have this August, September area where, again, we can go to summary judgment for the lawsuit. That could be big, which again could be extended by 60 days or so. And that the judge has to make some decisions in the next couple of days here. Because she has at least four decisions pending. That's, again, one of my last videos talking about exactly, what the judge needs to rule on. There's 4 more things. I'm really waiting for it, because that, again, can be a really, really big factor. Will it decide everything in the lawsuit? No, but it could be a big factor for it. Do you know about gematria or gematria? Yes, I do know about it. However, I'm not exactly sure if I, classify as one of those XRP conspiracy theory believers or anything like that. It's not really my cup of tea. Maybe eventually, though. Maybe with time. And by the way, guys, if you are enjoying these updates, make sure you press that like button. Do you have to? No. It just helps the video or live stream perform a little bit better. That's all you're doing. Does it make me money or anything like that? No. You don't have to press it. Just saying, if you forgot about it, doesn't cost you anything to press that little button. But all right, man, that was my... Those were, in easy terms, those were my thoughts about the urgency of the situation. I firmly believe it's like a right now or never type of situation for Bitcoin / XP / it all. And you may agree, you may disagree, but I firmly believe so, all right? And yeah, when's the next hearing? There's no hearing scheduled, guys. There's nothing along those lines scheduled, so please don't think it is or there is. A lot of people keep saying that. We get that really often. But all right, guys, that was it for today's little update here. I'm not sure exactly what I want to call this video that I'm going to talk about just quite yet. But I'll be doing some research and then get back to you guys if I have a good conclusion. And I'll see you guys again in a live stream or video later today, whatever. Thank you all for watching and stopping by, man.